Have you ever been in a small plane like this?
No, not at all.
You're afraid of heights?
Oh, yeah, pretty much.
You know, the funny thing is, I'm terrified of heights, but it doesn't bother me in an airplane.
Well, because you're in control of it.
Exactly.
You know?
You won't catch me on the roof of that building with a ladder.
Yeah.
Never, never, never. But in a plane, no problem. I've been flying for a while, so if you have any heebie-jeebies about that, I started flying at 16. Now, it just hit 40 last week. Oh, God.
What day was that?
Well, no, it wasn't last week. It was a little bit before. 23rd of August. Feels like last week. I've been so damn busy. Right now, I'm just waiting because there's a plane here, and I'm not sure where he's turning off.
Edenvale traffic, Juliet Kilo Yankee, crossing 0826 to Delta.
Every once in a while, I'm going to have to make an announcement like that on the radio.
Yeah.
Just ignore me when I do that.
Yeah, no problem.
So right now it's hotter than a sauna in here, but the second we get this thing off the ground, these little islets there will blow nice cold air at us.
You know what? I can't even notice a thing right now.
Really?
Yeah, I'm just all pumped.
Good. Well, the cool thing is, what I'll do is I'll get this to a safe altitude, and then once we get up there at a decent altitude, I'll start showing you how to control this thing.
All right.
So in case you ever had any curiosities about a plane, the majority of them are steered by using our feet, on the ground at least. On the ground, my feet are controlling a rudder, which is at the back, and a nose wheel at the front. So when I push my left foot, the plane starts turning left. Similar to like, the older Bobcats were like that. Different construction equipment is like that. But right now, just stopping for 1 second, and I have to check the engine. Waiting for my temperatures to come up. I'm where I want to be, and rev this thing up and double check our spark plugs. That's what I want to see. Everything is matched. Nice and good, good, good. I like that. Okay. Yeah, it's a warm day today.
Yeah, it is.
And Edenvale traffic, Juliet Kilo Yankee, backtracking 31.
So this is the runway that we're going to use. It's going to taxi all the way down to the end of that. We'll turn around and we'll get this show on the road. Twice during the flight, I will need to reach to this lever. It's only for takeoff and landing.
Okay.
So if you feel my hand go down there, don't worry.
Yeah, this is really cool.
Yeah. It'll be really cool when you're controlling it. That's when everybody gets the aha moment, see what it's like. Are you from the area?
Yeah. Yeah, just about 10 minutes from here.
Okay. Or you could even fly in that direction, wherever you live in that area. Okay. So when you say 10 minutes, that's probably about 2 minutes in the plane. So here's our runway. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go full power on this. This is my throttle. I'm just going to show you where my stick needs to be able to move. So just so you're not blocking it, that's fine there.
Yep.
Awesome. And other than that, we're good to go, man. If you're ready, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
Edenvale traffic, Juliet Kilo Yankee, on the roll, 31.
And we'll get our air conditioning. And we're off the ground. During the climb, it has a tendency to be like this, a little bit of bumpy up and down, a little bit of silliness, but the higher we get, the smoother it's going to get. Oh, you're doing like Facebook Live or something.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I'll let you choose the direction of which way we want to go. Right now we're approaching 700 feet over the ground. We have our options to go towards Collingwood area, or we can go towards Midland or Barrie direction, whatever you'd like.
Yeah, let's choose Collingwood.
Let's do it.
Approaching altitude.
So we're now exactly 1,000 feet over the ground and climbing.
Leaving altitude.
Yeah, Karen's watching.
Oh, nice. So there we go. I climbed up there. We're at 2,000 feet above sea level right now, which is about 1,300 feet over the ground. This is a nice altitude to cruise at. It's too bad the phone can't be patched into our intercom.
Yeah. Yeah, because they couldn't hear a thing, right?
Probably not.
Yeah, it looks nice from up here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's the park.
That's right. The Klondike Park. Yeah.
How fast does this thing go?
So right now we're doing 81 knots.
Yeah.
Actually, a ground speed of 92. 100 knots is equal to 115 miles per hour. So we're doing probably 170K. It feels like we're going slow, but we're moving.
Oh my God, I got my dad watching now.
Oh, nice.
He just plugged in.
Right now we're just coming up on the Wasaga Beach area. When I get to the shoreline there, I'll make a left turn, and then I'm going to start teaching you how to take control of this.
Yeah, no problem.
If you want, I could even, whenever you start flying it, I could even hold the phone like this so it's recording you, right? Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm just going to let the other pilots in the area know that we're here.
And Collingwood area traffic, SportStar India Juliet Kilo Yankee is 4 miles west of Wasaga Beach 1, traveling west along the shoreline at 2,000 feet en route to Collingwood.
All right, so let's show you how to do this thing. So, if you want to take your whatever hand you feel like, since it's an introductory flight, we're not going to get technical of what hand you should be using. Just whatever hand you feel like using. Just put one hand on that control stick, just very gently, and I want you to feel what happens when I start turning this aircraft. So if you notice, I'm barely doing anything on it right now, and it's flying straight and level. A way that we know that we're level and not climbing or descending is by this needle here. Since that needle is still pointing straight there, we're exactly at 2,000 feet. We're not gaining or losing altitude. If I start turning, the plane has a tendency to start going down a little bit or climbing, depending on the way you control it. But I'll just give you an example of how much you got to move this thing to turn it. So right now I'm going to start executing a right turn, just a tiny little push. You can feel how the plane's starting to bank. I'm not really doing anything on that control right now. To correct it, I just come back just a little bit.
Wow.
That's it. So now we're back to level. And once it gets level, if that's where you want to be, you just give it a tug, and you're back there.
There's nothing like the video games.
Nothing. Nothing like it. Conversely, a left turn would be, just a little push like that. You could feel the turn starting.
Wow, look at that water.
Collingwood traffic, runway off south is clear, the exit.
I get to just take a picture really quick here. That looks something. Yeah. That looks cool.
Oh yeah. Right now I'm just doing a constant left turn. I'm really not doing anything. Look, it's just
Right.
turning. Now, in order for me to stop the turn, just a little tiny tug to my right. That's it. Once it gets to where I want it to be, I just kind of reset it again like that. Just a little bit back and forth. That's all it takes. Now, if I want to climb the plane, if you want to put your hand back on the control, I'll show you. So to climb the plane is just to pull towards us. You can feel that nose come up. You can feel the G-forces in our butt.
Yeah.
It's getting a little heavy. Now, the reason why I don't want to continue climbing like this is because we start slowing down. I'm watching this guy right here, which is my airspeed. I don't want it to go slower than 60, so if I pull up, you'll notice it slows down. So if I truly wanted to climb, I would need to add more throttle. As I start adding more throttle, well, now I'm able to maintain that 60 and get this thing to really start climbing. It's a delicate balancing act between all of these little controls. Let's say here, 2,500 feet almost. Back to my cruise RPM. Now feel free, if you want to turn this plane in any direction, go for it. I'm going to keep my hand here. I'm not going to let you do anything crazy. Feel free to do anything. I'll let you know if it starts doing something silly. Try to turn in this direction. There you go. The big metropolis of Collingwood.
We're right over Collingwood right now?
Almost. Right over there is. Yeah, we're just coming to that roundabout, you know, on the highway.
Yeah.
So the roundabout you can't see, but it's sort of down there. Yeah, you're doing well with that control.
You know what? It's just it's really sensitive. That's it.
Exactly. Did you want me to shoot video of you flying right now?
Yeah, sure.
So if you want to get your thing ready.
From over SportStar Los Angeles heading towards Collingwood at 2000. And Collingwood area traffic at Eugene.
There you go. I just put on record.
Just over Collingwood at 2,500 traveling west. Okay, I am west of her. I won't go more than 2,000 feet.
Okay, you're rolling?
Yeah.
All right, man. There you go.
Yeah, this is awesome. And I'm usually afraid of flying. Like, I'm usually afraid of going up, you know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, this is a beautiful day to do it. The air is very smooth.
Yeah.
We're spoiled today.
So, yeah.
Some days it could be very rough, but this is nice.
So how often do you go up?
I do this every day.
Really?
7 days a week, yeah.
Wow.
Winter, summer, doesn't matter. The only time I don't fly is if the weather's very bad.
Yeah, this is really neat.
Well, you're really good on the controls. Look at that. I'm not doing anything. I'm sitting here filming you. You're a natural, man. You're a natural. Yeah, might as well keep this turn going back in that direction. See how you're gradually just going up?
Yeah.
So all you got to do is just push it down a little
I
bit.
think I just tapped it now.
Yeah.
I can see a little bit better now going.
Exactly. So one of my colleagues is flying in this direction, but he's at 2,000 feet, so we're 700 feet apart.
Where does it say? How do you?
We are 2,700, and he said on his radio he's going to maintain 2,000, but he's going to be traveling underneath us.
Yeah, that's probably good.
All right.
I'll probably shut that off. Thank you.
No problem, man.
Do you really ever have to?
Yeah, generally, I don't usually show people what these do till about 3 hours of training because it'll confuse people, but I'll show you what they do.
Yeah.
Put your feet on them. You have a left and right pedal. Now this controls our rudder, so it's our tail, right?
Yeah.
It's like my finger's sticking up here. Imagine you're driving a rear-wheel drive car and it's the winter time. Maybe not even a rear-wheel drive. You got an emergency brake. If I push my left foot, what I'm doing is skidding the tail left. So you'll see what happens if you look forward and I start pushing my left foot down.
Yeah, okay.
It's turning the plane, it's creating drag and causing us to dive.
Yeah.
Now, since it's so smooth today, I'm barely even using my feet for anything.
Right.
But on a windy day, when the wind is pushing us from one direction or the other, we have to compensate for drift by using our feet. So assume that the wind was coming at us 90 degrees from the right, and we're trying to get to Edenvale, which is right in front of us. I don't know if you can see the runway way off in the distance. We would be drifting sideways unless I started applying my right rudder, which would steer the nose this way, but we would be tracking across the ground straight. You know what I mean? It's sort of, they call it crabbing. You're turning the plane into the wind and you're flying kind of like that, sideways.
Yeah, just like drifting.
Just like drifting.
Just like drifting, okay.
So this is exactly how you control the drift. Now, if I wanted to do a really aggravated quick turn, I would do that something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where I really just pushed it and got this thing to turn fast. Now, the rudder is extremely important for takeoff and landing, especially. This plane doesn't require much rudder when we're flying. Other planes are very rudder dominant, where you're always on the rudders. So that's why this is a very good plane to learn to fly in, because it's not that tricky to fly.
Yeah, it's pretty basic, I guess.
Very basic, very, very forgiving, but also it's got good performance. So we're going to head straight off in that direction. I'll let you, yeah, sure. Nice turn. And we're descending. 2,600. If you can see the airport, what we're going to do is fly towards that runway just a little bit to the right of it. About 3/4 of a mile on the right side of that runway we want to fly.
And Collingwood area traffic, SportStar, India Juliet Kilo Yankee, 2,600 feet just over the Superstore in Wasaga Beach, en route to Edenvale at 2,600.
The cool thing about this hobby, if you want to call it that, it's really come down in price from what it used to be. You know, it used to be known as a rich man sport.
Yeah.
Not so much that anymore. Nowadays, you can get a license in this category, these two-seaters,
Yeah.
for about $4,500.
That's it?
That's it.
Wow.
25 hours of training. That's only if somebody's taking it seriously, they'll get it in 25 hours.
Yeah.
There's some people that take 40 hours to do it because their confidence level isn't there. But somebody who's willing to come and fly an hour, say an hour a week, an hour every 2 weeks, they learn quick. But if you space it out over 2 years, it takes you longer because you forget stuff, you know. I'm just playing with the radio. I'm tuning into the radio station for that airport so I can hear if there's other pilots in the area.
And Edenvale traffic, SportStar, India Juliet Kilo Yankee, 5 miles northwest of the field, inbound for landing. It's at 2,600, going to descend to circuit height and join us straight in downwind, 3-1.
Yeah, I used to be an avid snowmobiler. I still love it, but when I realized cost difference, I went full into this because it's about the same kind of cost, really, right? Buying the plane isn't a big hit, but to get the license is $4,500, yeah. But after the fact, you know, you can rent planes.
Yeah, you can rent these planes?
Oh, yeah.
Over here?
Yeah, different, as long as somebody's commercially insured, they'll rent. Like whenever any of my students who have become pilots, I know you're familiar with the plane, of course you can use it for an hour, 2 hours, whatever you want. Okay, so now that we're in the vicinity of the airport, we have to descend to 1,700 feet. Did you want to give it a try?
Yeah, I get you.
Sure. So what I'm going to do is throttle max, because you're not going to need power anymore. We're just going to continue in this direction and just allow the nose to drop down. That's it. And we're descending. The thing I'm watching here is the airspeed. If it starts going really fast, you just pull towards it. So 90's starting to get a little fast, so just slow it down by doing that. That's it. Another 450 feet to go. So we're just going to fly off in this direction here to the right, and we have to turn around and land on the runway in a different direction.
Also going that way.
Yeah, we're going to go straight this way and then turn left, and land. There we go. That's where we want to be. So I'm adding power again.
And Edenvale traffic, Juliet Kilo Yankee, established left downwind, 3-1, full stop.
So essentially what we do here is we just fly parallel to the runway. This is an actual procedure called the circuit. So we can't just come in and land at an airport unless we had an emergency. We have to fly this circuit pattern, which is a direct parallel flight next to the runway. This is called our downwind leg. Then we're going to turn another left, which is called our base. So just a little bit this way. That's it. And then final approach. And coming up soon, I'll have to take full control because it's going to get pretty hairy.
Yeah, no problem.
Or are you good now?
No, go for it.
All right, so I have control again. cool view that you might want to see on the camera is when we come in for final and we're getting close to that runway as we go straight towards it.
Edenvale traffic, Juliet Kilo Yankee, turning left base 31.
Right here, I'm just slowing the plane down. I'm putting on what we call flaps. 1 notch of flaps, 2 notch of flaps. They act like a big sort of air brake. They're located underneath the wings.
Leaving altitude.
It helps slow us down so my descent is not that fast.
Edenvale traffic, Juliet Kilo Yankee, turning final 31.
I guess what, landing's the most challenging part of it?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's the most unforgiving, so you got to be very careful. You got to be really good on your speeds. Yeah, I have to maintain a perfect speed in this plane in between 60 and 65 knots. Or if I go too fast, the plane won't land. And if I go too slow, we enter a condition potentially called a stall, and we stop flying pretty quick. Wow, it's gusty. There we go, nice and easy, coming down. Back on the ground, man.
That was really cool, man.